My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekhar classes on applied data science with Python. This is lecture number 101. In this lecture, we will try to understand normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. Even I can call it as Gaussian normal distribution. We have an understanding of the basic descriptive statistics. We can move on to distribution, especially the Gaussian normal distribution. Now, let's imagine two distributions shaped like the ones that you see here on screen. Both of these are distribution curves. If you were to look at one on the left, you would see within a particular range, all values are equally likely to occur. Whereas, if you were to look at this bell-shaped distribution on the right, you would say that values that are close to the mean, which are close to the mound or to the dome of this bell, are far more likely to occur than values which lie far from the mean. Just otherwise, let me say like this. Just see, this one is it what's the probability in this range from here to here? They have got equal probability. All values are equally likely, isn't it? What about next one? Values are close to mean. This one here, dome. This one I can say, what is he saying? Mound or dome. Values are close to the mean are more likely. This is the mean. Let me say this is the mean. These values are more likely as it has got more height, whereas it's decreasing, isn't it? Here also it's decreasing. These are two different distributions. Anyway, all these distributions I will discuss in detailed manner. Time being, let me say like this. Distributions with just one peak level, see here, are known as unimodal distributions. Now, why are distributions important? I already discussed importance of distributions. They give you an idea of what your data looks like and properties in the real world, such as the height and weight of individuals and other natural properties, can be represented by a distribution known as normal distribution. This is also known as the Gaussian distribution, and this bell-shaped representation, which you have probably seen very often in practice, is a Gaussian distribution. I can say this normal distribution is continuous distribution, isn't it? Is it not continuous one? It's a continuous distribution. Normal distribution can be called as mother of all distributions, because any phenomena, if you are not aware about the nature of the distributions, you can assume that it follows normal distribution. Most of the statistical tests or whatever analytic tools which are going to use in this lecture series, in this course, or I can say in this lecture series, going to have some assumptions that it follows normal distribution. Knowing the properties and behavior and assumption about the normal distribution is very important for this lecture series. Some of the properties of normal distribution curve is, first one is it's a bell-shaped curve. Just see this one. Is it not bell-shaped curve? It's a bell-shaped curve. Just see. This is bell-shaped curve. It's a normal distribution is bell-shaped curve. You might have seen this particular curve. Symmetrical curve, yes, normal distribution curve is symmetrical about its mean. Just see, this is the mean. Is it not same left side of mean, is it not same to the right side? If you compare, this portion is just same to this portion. You can, means I can say it is symmetrical. You can fold it. After folding, both sides are same, isn't it? It's same on left side of the mean as well as on right. This is mean, it is same on left and right side, therefore it is symmetrical about mean. That's what it says. Another important property is its mean. I already discussed what is mean, median, mode. Mean equal to median equal to mode. I discussed about its skew. We discussed skewness and kurtosis. Its skewness is 0, isn't it? The location is characterized by mean. I will discuss how this location is characterized by mean after few minutes. The spread is characterized by standard deviation. These 2 points are very important. In this lecture only I will discuss how location is characterized by mean and how spread is characterized by sigma, standard deviation. Even I can say it's a sigma square, it's a variance. The random variable has an infinite theoretical range minus infinity to plus infinity. This is minus infinity. Your x value varies from this is x, this is f of x. Your random value assumes values from minus infinity to plus infinity. It's a continuous distribution. That's what it says. This is normal distribution formula. I will try to solve few problems related to this one. This is normal probability density function f of x equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma square e power x minus mu whole square by 2 sigma. So just try to have an idea on this formula. We'll spend time on this particular formula in future lectures. Just time being, understand this E is a mathematical constant whose approximate value is 2.71828. Pi is, you know what is pi? It's approximate 22 by 7, 3.14. Mu is population mean. Sigma is population standard deviation. X is any value of the continuous variable. I can say that here this mu and sigma are known as parameters. I already discussed what is parameter in my previous lectures, isn't it? Just go through this formula. We will try to understand how this formula is useful. Just if you observe carefully, this I can say the spread is characterized by standard deviation. For example, if you observe this particular curves, just see this one here. I have one curve, this sigma value here. This sigma value is very less. Why? Because this spread is less. Whereas this sigma value is little bit bigger than this one. This one is little bit bad. Whereas this sigma value is more than these two curves. This sigma value, the spread is characterized by standard deviation. That's what I am saying. Otherwise, let me repeat. This sigma and this sigma. If you observe, this sigma value is less than this sigma value and this sigma value is less than this sigma value. Means I can say this sigma indicates spread. The random variable has an infinite theoretical, as anyway here infinite theoretical range. That's anyway I discussed. Time being, just understand that your standard deviation gives the spread of the curve. We will try to understand the shape of the normal distribution will change based on your spread, isn't it? If it by varying parameters mu and sigma, this mu and sigma are known as parameters, we obtain different normal distributions. Changing mu shifts the distribution left or right. This is important. Here what we are saying, this mu and sigma are parameter. This changing mu shift the distribution left or right. We will try to analyze, just understand this point. Changing sigma increase or decrease the spread. If you increase sigma value, I can say like this. Changing mu shift the distribution left or right. Changing sigma standard deviation increases or decreases the spread. If you decrease the sigma, spread will decrease. That you must understand. If you decrease sigma, your spread will also decrease. If you increase sigma, your spread will also increase. Isn't it? Now let me analyze like this. Otherwise, let me take one standard normal distribution. What is standard normal distribution? I will discuss in future lectures. Time being, just let me say like this. How can I say? Just see. Look at the three plots here. Which plots? These three plots. First three plots. What is the specialty in first three plots? All these three plots mu value 0. Plots here blue, red and yellow. Yellow plot here, all of them have mean of 0. Whether it is red, whether it is blue, red and yellow, all these plots mu value, mean value, average value is 0. Variance of the blue plot is 0.2. Just sigma square. This is 0.2. Just see, this is variance. This curve, this particular one, this is the variance. Just see, this is 0.2, isn't it? Variance of red is 1. What is this red? What is the variance of this red? Is 1, isn't it? If it is 1, this is this what is it? This spread, it's more spreaded compared to this one. It has got more spread. Why? Because your sigma square value is bigger than your I can say like this, your sigma square value, this sigma square value is this one. Let me say like this has got less spread, this has got more spread, isn't it? Why? Because its value is 0.2, its value is 1.0, isn't it? And 5.0, this one, what is value of yellow is what is that value of yellow is 5. It has got more spread. Just see this one, it has got more spread. Just see this, it has got more spread. Why? Because it's as sigma square is increasing, your spread will increase. If you observe, all these three curves has got same mu equal to 0. What is this? This is mu equal to 0. Just see this one, this is mu equal to 0. This is mu, your mu is 0. For which curves? Blue, red and yellow curves. This is blue, red and yellow curves. They have got same mean, mu equal 0. But as sigma square is increasing, their spread is increasing. Just this spread is less, this spread is just little bit more, this spread is very high compared to other two curves. Isn't it? That's what it says. If you increase sigma square, its spread will increase. If you decrease sigma square, its spread will decrease. That's what it says. Just if you observe carefully, let me say like this. So we do know that variance is measure of spread. Understand, this is golden point. Variance is measure of spread. It is also called scale. So if my variance is small, then my probability density function or my PDF, this is x actually, this is x, this is PDF. On y-axis I am taking probability density function, on x-axis it's a random continuous random variable. My PDF or probability density function is going to be peaked. Let me repeat again. Why? Because this point is very important. It is variance is a measure of spread. It is also called scale. So if my variance is small, then my probability density function, that is PDF, is going to be peaked. Just see, this is peaked. It's peaked compared to, why? Because it has got less variance, sigma square equals 0.2, peaked and thin. This is peaked as well as thin. Like this, my variance increases, my PDF is going to, if you increase, let me repeat, my variance increases. If you increase variance, what happens? My variance increases as my PDF is going to fatter and fatter and shorter. Just see, this sigma square 0.2, 1.0, 5.0. This compared to this one, this is fatter and shorter, and compared to this is more fatter. Why? As sigma square increases, it will be fatter and fatter, shorter and shorter. So at the same time, if mu changes, that's important. There is another curve, mu changes. Just see this one, mu changes. This is the curve, isn't it? What it says? This is mu equal to -2, isn't it? If mu changes, so for this green one, isn't it? Green line here, that mu equal to -2. So peak of your hill, so your this curve itself changes, isn't it? This mu equal to -2. That's what it says in my previous slide. What it says? Changing mu, shift the distribution left or right. This is the point. Changing mu, shift the distribution left or right. Here I am changing mu of this particular curve, mu equal to -2. If mu equal to -2, it's changing left. By changing mu value, you can shift the normal distribution curve either left or right or changing sigma square value, it changes. If you increase sigma square value, your spread will increase. If you decrease sigma square value, your spread decrease. If you change mu value, that curve let me show, changing mu shifts the distribution left or right. If I change mu from 0 to -2, what's happening here? It is shifting from left side, isn't it? This normal distribution curve is very, very important. I will spend lot of time on this particular curve. I will discuss in detailed manner about this curve. Just go through this lecture. This lecture is simple and straightforward. And I will continue my discussion on normal distribution curve in future lectures also. Thank you very much.